So in this video, I'm going to be talking about using the interference check in the inspect menu to look for clashes inside your assembly. I use this tool quite often to check to see if there's any issues before I go to manufacturing. So let's take a look and see how this works. So one of the tools that I use quite often during design is in the inspect menu, this interference tool. And what this allows you to do is to check to see if any of your parts are clashing or interfering with each other. So here's an example. I have this wine cabinet that I modeled. I've got the whole thing assembled. It looks great. I'm going to go ahead and run this interference. And you'll notice it's asking for me to select bodies or components. And I'm just going to draw a selection box around the whole thing. So dragging from left to right. And one of the options is include coincident faces, and it's unchecked. I'm going to leave that unchecked for now. What this means is it would tell me if faces are touching each other. Well, all I really want to know is are objects interfering or clashing with each other? So I'm going to leave that unchecked and I'll just hit compute. And it's going to analyze the assembly and come back with this table. And you'll notice that the assembly looks kind of ghosted out, and then we'll notice some colored areas. So I'm going to start to kind of zoom up on some of these, and you'll notice, unfortunately, if I start dragging through this table here, I've got 100 issues in this assembly. Now, some of them are larger, as I can see here, and some of them are, kind of minor, like for example, all the little screws. I probably didn't create screw holes in the pieces of wood for these hinges, and so the screw is just interfering with the wood, and so it's showing that in here. So I can probably disregard some of those, but some of these are obviously a little bit larger. Now the ones that kind of stand out that concern me are these larger areas here. So I'm going to kind of focus on that. I can also see there's like this tub in here. It looks like the lip is interfering, so I'm gonna have to figure out that. I have these wine glasses, and it kind of looks like, if we look at it from the side, that the wine glasses are a little bit too low and interfering with the hanger. So when I positioned these wine glasses, I just kind of eyeballed it, but obviously didn't do a great job there. So might fix that. And then looking down here, it kind of looks like some of these wine bottles are interfering with some of the cabinetry, as we can see here. Now, in this table, this interference results table, you'll notice it's broken down into a couple different columns: the group, the volume, and then component 1 and component 2. So I'm going to take a look at this number 6 right here, and it tells me the total volume. And if I click on this, it'll actually jump to this particular issue, and it's telling me that component BB right is interfering with AA2. Same thing here. I'll go ahead and click on that one, and you can kind of see how it highlights that one there. Let me just kind of keep going through here. And here is some of the other areas that I was concerned with. So in fact, number 9, let's just go ahead and focus on this issue. Now, what it looks like to me, and I'm going to do a little bit more investigation here, is that there's like a tenon that's supposed to go into a mortise, and maybe that mortise doesn't exist. So I'm going to go ahead and just say OK for now. And one of the other tools that I use in the inspect menu is section analysis. And what this allows you to do is click on a cut plane. So I'm going to start on this face right here, and it's going to allow me to slice through my design. So I'm going to grab this blue arrow, and you can see that we can slice through the design. So I'm going to start slicing back, and sure enough, this looks good right here. But as I continue back, I start to see kind of like this flashing going on right here. And it looks like there's some interfering wood going on. I'll continue to slice back, and there that looks good. In fact, you can see there's a little bit of recess for glue and all that kind of stuff. So there's obviously something going on. It looks like maybe with this piece right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this section analysis. Let's take a look at this piece of wood. So if I click on that, I can see that's part of the lid assembly, and that is component AA. So I'm going to just turn off AA for now. And sure enough, I was correct in my assumption that there's a tenon here, and it has this little notch cut out. So let's take a look at this piece. So that is BB. So I'm going to turn off BB, and let's turn back on AA, and we can see that there's just a slight recess in here, and BB is trying to go really far back into it, and that's obviously where the clash is happening. So I would either need to change what this looks like. So for example, I'm just gonna show one solution would be to change the tenon so it looked like this. So then it would fit into that mortise there, like so. Or I would need to create a mortise inside this AA, which I could do by, for example, using the combine. So my target could be this part here. My tool could be this part here. I'll say cut. I want to keep the tool because I don't want to lose that piece. I'll say okay. Let's turn off this piece here. And now we can see that, it used that piece to kind of remove that geometry there. Now, obviously this would be a little bit harder to manufacture, so I probably would go with option 1 instead of option 2. But it's a very visual way to see what's going on. So let's do a quick section analysis, kind of slice through, and here's that short piece, and then it extends. We're not seeing that flashing going on anymore, so that looks pretty good. Let's run the interference check again. Now this time I'm going to turn off all the hardware. I don't want to analyze the hardware, so I'm just going to turn off my hardware assembly. Let's just draw a box around everything again, compute, and we can see now that we've resolved that issue. There's no problem there. It looks good there. But then it kind of looks like we have the same thing going on in the middle here. Let me just verify that really quick. That's BB mid. Sure enough, it looks like it has kind of a long tenon in there. I'm going to turn that piece off, and just a short indentation there. So let's turn that piece off. And sure enough, it looks like that is sticking out way too far. For whatever reason, when I created this part, I'm not sure why this tenon was created too long, but it's obviously interfering with this front piece here. So once again, I would need to figure out what I would need to do to resolve this. It could be as simple as, lining this up with a different part, like so. And same thing on this side. Now, obviously, I would probably go back to my sketch of this component and fixing it with dimensions, but really quickly, I'm just showing you how I'm changing what this tenon looks like. I'll go ahead and turn these parts back on. Let's run the interference. I'm just going to draw a box kind of around the top like so instead of doing the whole assembly. Let's compute, and sure enough, we no longer have the issues with that middle part. And once again, you can see we have the same issue over here on this right side, which I would go ahead and fix also. But you can kind of see how powerful this is for being able to visualize where the issues are. In fact, I'll do this again one more time. I'll turn off my hardware assembly. let's do the interference. And we can see these wine glasses and wine bottles. Let's resolve those really quick. In fact, I can see right here, if I click on here, it's kind of highlighting wine glass with the glass hanger. So we can kind of see all of those. And then these are the bottles of wine. Okay, so I'm going to, let's turn off the doors assembly, and you can see by organizing with these assemblies and sub-assemblies how quick it's easy to turn off all the hardware, turn off all the doors. I have the wine bottles right here. I have the wine glasses right here. So I'm just gonna, let's just click on front. And sure enough, it kind of looks like they're hanging down a little bit. So I'll just come in here and say move. And let's see, I'll drag those up a little bit and maybe to the left just a little bit to kind of center them a little bit more. Maybe I'll set the pivot somewhere a little bit closer so I can visualize a little bit easier. So now I'm a little bit closer, and just drag that down ever so slightly. And like so. Again, this is just kind of eyeballing it just for visual representation of that. And then let's do the same thing with this wine bottle here. So I'll click on that. That's under wine bottles. That's this particular wine bottle. So I'm just going to move that over to the right, kind of center it more where it's supposed to be. And then I can kind of see these two wine bottles should probably be moved to the left just a little bit. So that looks like that one and, oops. So that one and that one. I'll go ahead and move those to the left just a little bit, like so. Okay, now let's go ahead and run the inspection one more time. I'll capture my position. And now you can see running the whole analysis where I had 100 issues before, I'm now down to 6. And again, I'm not going to fix every single issue here in this video, but I would. I would obviously fix this little tenon issue here. I'd figure out what's going on with this tub. It looks like I probably need to create some kind of a recess or something in this piece of centered wood here. But we can see now that there is no interference with the wine glasses and there's no interference with the wine bottles. But I do see these 3 colored faces here. So to me, it's not on the left, but it is on the right. So I have a feeling that these little shelves here might be positioned to the right just ever so slightly. I mean, it's just a sliver of a face. There's like hardly any thickness to it whatsoever. So that might not even be worth trying to fix, but I would probably go ahead and verify that these are positioned correctly. So that's how you can use the interference check and also the section analysis to verify that your assembly is put together correctly. I hope you learned something new and enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you've hit like and subscribe. That way you'll be notified of upcoming videos. If you'd like to learn more about Fusion, make sure you visit my webpage at cadedllc.com. And as always, have fun learning Fusion.